Zumba sessions for the marathon people, just like a warm-up thing. I did the Zumba in Umaid Bhawan Palace. इंडियन माइंडसेट ऐसे ही चलता है, थोड़ा
Correct.
कम करना पड़ता है कि दे आर लाइक कम नहीं किया तो नहीं चलेगा, दे वांट कम करके दो हमें.
Growing up in a culture of hustle, I have always admired those who choose unconventional careers, succeed, and lead fulfilling lives doing what they love. My ambition is to follow this path, and I know many others share this goal. This podcast is my way of exploring the lives of these individuals, sharing their journeys and perspectives on life. In this first series, I'm engaging with fellow Desis who immigrated to the US and are pursuing the classic American dream through hard work. I'm Jay Desai, inviting you to join me in discovering the stories of Desi hustlers. If you know someone whose unconventional career path inspires you, please reach out at pod.dhustlers@gmail.com to share their story. My first guest is a talented Zumba instructor, a successful event planner celebrated for her beautiful events, and the mother of a 4-year-old boy. I've had the opportunity to know Ankita for the past 5 years. She stands out for her honesty, her stunning events, and her energetic approach to both work and life. Ankita moved to US in 2017, hailing from Jodhpur, Rajasthan. To see more of her work, check out her website at sagaeventplanner.com. Hope you enjoy this conversation. आपने हमेशा सोचा था कि you would move to US या बस it was a coincidence?
I never thought that I'll move to USA. It was just like a coincidence because like my family, they were looking for a guy in India.
How did you feel after coming to US? Was this like your first country outside India?
I've been to other countries also, but USA was like first. I was very excited for this new life and new way of doing things.
I know you moved to Bethlehem. How did you imagine your first place to be?
The first thing I saw, like it's going to be like very beautiful. I knew about the opportunities as well. I'll have more freedom to do things, to explore things. Yeah, this picture I had in my mind.
And when you say freedom to do more, what do you mean by that?
To do your own work, to have more opportunities. I heard it like here the appreciation is like little quick, whatever you do. So in terms of that.
But I also know that you were working in India, right, before you got married. So how
Yes.
was that? And did you feel that, you're moving away from something good that you have in India and starting a new life here?
Yeah, I used to work in India. I wasn't a proper event planner in India. So the experience was very good. But there was like always society thing, like you focus on your work, but there were like a lot of other things used to come up, which I feel would be different in USA. For example, like family wanted to get you married. The more focus was on that.
So those restrictions from society and family, and you thought that that would go away to a large extent in US.
Yes, because as there was no society, so I knew like I could do what I want to do.
And you made sure the person you are marrying, Amit, knew that you were very passionate and you wanted to do things on your own.
Yes, definitely. From the day one when we met, like before getting married, I always told him I was like passionate about dancing, Zumba. Even if I get a chance to do the event management or start my own company, I would love to do it. And he was always supportive and he showed interest. He's like, oh, please go ahead with that. Don't worry about the cooking. I'll do that job. Yeah.
Tell us, how did you get into Zumba in India?
So I was in Mumbai. I used to do my dance classes. I used to learn different forms of dance. I had a scholarship also from Mumbai, from the Tenslers Academy. From the childhood, I always had interest in dancing. And one day, just like in Jodhpur, like I attended the Zumba class and I liked it a lot. That was like a combination of the exercise and dance, both. So I just thought of like having a certificate in that also because this is like a very good activity, like with the dance and with the exercise, and nobody is judging you with the simple steps. So when I got the certificate and when I started the classes, it was going really well. Yeah. It was like a nice feeling. This is how I got into the Zumba.
Okay, and how did you start?
So Zumba was like a collaboration with one more guy, one more friend of mine who already had a studio. I joined him and from there I started my classes. And with time, I took like a lot of classes. I did like Zumba sessions for the marathon people, just like a warm-up thing. I did the Zumba in Umaid Bhawan Palace.
I saw your website, so I'll share Ankita's website for everyone who's listening. And do check it out. It's called sagaeventplanner.com. But Ankita, I was seeing your website, and it's an interesting story on why you were attracted to event planning. You mentioned in your website that you were born and raised in Jodhpur, and Jodhpur is, as we all know, popular destination for destination weddings, right? Lavish, rich
Correct.
weddings.
Yes.
Was that the real reason that you started in event planning back in
So in
India?
India, as I mentioned, my friend Rahul, who used to do Zumba. So also he used to do some event decoration for the weddings or for the sangeet. We used to do the choreographies. Over there, at times I used to do the small setup with him, like for a mehndi setup and haldi setup. So that in India, I did like in a very small scale. I would say it wasn't even mine. I was just doing, helping my friend. I used to do it. From there, I developed an interest for the event planning and management, but little bit like simple haldi
Few.
setup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that how you learned, or did you then realize this is interesting and fun, and there can be scope in this area as well, which is event planning, haldi setup, and all of that?
I didn't do any classes after that, but I knew I had a very keen interest because I used to enjoy a lot. Because every event was like a different, with a different setup, with a different creativity. I have done in my family, like one or two setup, like event management and coordination. With that, I realized that like I have a very keen interest and I'm very passionate about it. I like it a lot. So I knew I have to start somewhere, but I never knew when I will start.
So Zumba led to event planning career in India. We started with Zumba, but through that you got
Sangeet.
contacts and you got opportunities to do event planning as well.
Correct. And anyways, I was teaching dance also. I used to do choreographies also, even before Zumba. But through dance only, I got into the event planning.
So then coming back to US, what was your journey in US? How did you start Zumba classes here? And then how did
Okay.
you get
So
into
when I
events?
came in US, like initially 6, 7 months, there was like no job because of the EAD. The moment the EAD came, I applied for the Zumba in the different gyms and I got the job also in the Zumba thing. And yeah, there I used to meet people. There I used to talk about like I want to start with the event planning and the decoration. When I started my Zumba classes, I also used to take like private classes also for the Zumba. So I used to teach Zumba in 3 gyms and private classes also. There I used to talk to people about it. Like I am interested in this. I have few experience in India which I have done the event management and decoration. With that, I immediately then start with my first event. I used to work for one more company, I Events, which is like company from New York and K Bailey's, both as a event coordinator. So just to learn about like how things work in USA, how different culture is, just to understand. So I started with that also. And the event used to be like once in 4 months or 5 months. And they used to be like American weddings, lesbian wedding, birthdays. So I did that. And through Zumba, I got the contact of a Indian community. They wanted to celebrate a Diwali event. From there, I started. And that was my first event to begin with.
You also mentioned you learned a lot of things from getting a job in event companies in New York. And there used to be events, but less frequently, but you at least learned how to work with different people. And
Definitely. That was like a lot to learn. There was like, I learned how they do it. Initially, I was in the mindset of like India, because in India, you like get the labor very easily for anything or everything to get it done. But that was not the case in the USA.
I know you specialize in decorations, Ankita. Did you learn anything here? Did you take any classes here for
Yeah,
decorations?
I actually took it. Initially, I was like more of like what I knew from India, I'll do that over here. But that was not like the case over here. Like whatever we do in India and here was very different. Whether it's birthday parties, whether it's weddings, everything was very different. To begin with, I started with the balloon classes. I was like, let me just take a training of a balloon class. I started with that. And of course, I wasn't sure, like, why am I investing in the balloon class? And because it was expensive, like, for me, to begin with. It went really well. Like, I learned it.
Just coming back to life in US, you said that first 6 months there was no visa, and
Hmm.
I remember you used to have a lot of fun though,
Huh.
because I did this seeing you. Bethlehem was like 90 minutes west of New York. So you
Mm-hmm.
used to take a bus and go to New York on weekdays when Amit used to go to office because you had nothing better to do, right? And you're like, why not explore? And New York is the best way to explore US, I think,
Yeah,
right?
right, correct.
That was really fun. Like, what did you do? Like in those initial days, you didn't know anyone. It was very brave, and maybe you were not even driving back then. But you figured out there is a bus service to New York, and you just used to go from like used to go in the morning, come back in the evening, and you used to do that couple of times a week, right? What did you do in New York?
Yeah, correct. So I was like, I am like my 6 months. I knew like my ED will take time to come. So this again, Amit only suggested me that there's a bus which goes to New York. If you want me, I can get a pass for you and you can explore New York. I was very excited. I was like, let me explore. Anyways, I'm home. Let me explore something new. Because in the Bethlehem area, I wanted to explore, but I couldn't drive. I have to wait for Amit to come home in the evening and then go. So when I got like a bus pass, I used to go to New York like morning 8 o'clock. I used to go like different places. Like I used to chill in like Central Park. I used to do some shopping. Then I used to have dance classes. I signed up for myself for a dance classes that was jazz and belly. That I used to have it like in the evening around like 3 to 6. That was like super fun. Very, I mean, I enjoyed so much meeting new people, learning something new. The first day was like a little struggle because you were new to the city, you were exploring. But after the more trips to New York, it was like a lot of fun. So I used to have dance classes. Then I used to have dinner at the random, like I used to try different cuisine. And then in the end, in the night, like around like 10 or 11 o'clock, I used to go to Bethlehem, and Amit used to come and pick me up from the bus station.
That is very nice. I did the same thing after I came to US. That is 1 year after
Yeah,
you.
that was like so much fun. It was like reminded me of my college days, chilling, nothing, you're just roaming around the city.
What did you learn? Like, what difference do you find in people in US versus India? Right? You came to New York. You've been here very long already now. What is the biggest difference that you see? Let's actually talk about how your clients are different.
In USA, the difference what I found is here the people are not quickly judgmental. The appreciation is very quick. If like suppose if you have done something like an event for them, that appreciation is quick. And they will, if they are happy with your work, they will recommend your name to many people. Chance of appreciation in India thoda kam hota hai. The criticism is more. And as a woman also, like you grow, the criticism is little extra. Like there are people around you to let you down. But that was not the case in the USA. Like whomsoever I met, even the new people.
In US, at least your clients focused a lot more on positive than on criticism.
Definitely. I'm not saying like every time I get the clients in the US are like every time they are good to me and all of that. But that range is very less. So far I got like amazing clients.
What do you miss from India that you wish you could have in USA?
So in India, I would say service, like the food, the help you get from the outside. The labor is cheap. That I miss. Like you have to pay more, or you take time to understand things, how things works in USA. Like you can say that jugaad. That jugaad is easy in India.
So I know you visit India very frequently, and for those who don't know, Ankita lives a very ideal life. She has a summer home and a winter home. Her summer home is USA, Bethlehem, East Coast, which is very nice during summers, and her winter home is India. So during the winter time, she goes to India and chills
Yes,
there for three,
yes,
4 months. Of course, she does events
yeah.
there, but she also chills there a lot. I think out of 7 years Ankita has spent here, she's only spent one
Yeah,
winter so far
yeah.
in US. Is that correct, Ankita?
So generally, so yeah, in our event business in USA, during winter it slows down a little bit because of the snowfall and a lot of things like other factors and all of that. So that I think like, oh, my work slowed down during these 2 months, 3 months. Then I plan a trip to India.
So you also mentioned that during pandemic your work picked up.
So pandemic, the moment the pandemic hit, like I don't know how, all of a sudden like everyone was celebrating like a lot of things because people couldn't travel outside. There were like travel restrictions. So people were celebrating every damn thing. Any small occasion they were celebrating. Yeah, during that time that there was like a lot of demand of the event planner, decorator and all of that. So I started with my son's birthday, first birthday. That was pandemic only actually. So I knew like I wanted to start something. I did the balloon course. So I started with my son's first birthday and I decorated it and I invited the photographer to take the good pictures so that I can put it on my website and Instagram. And through that, I started getting like lot of work, a lot of offers through the banquet hall to tie up with them.
What is your main source of marketing
I'll be
right now?
honest, like the event when I started with the Diwali, I didn't earn anything from that. But I knew like it has to spread the word that I'm there. Initially, it was very slow. For a 1 year, it was very slow because I hardly knew how to get people in the confidence like I'm there and I
Mhm.
can do a good job. So I started with the Kian's birthday also, but the events were not coming up the way I was expecting it because USA is large and it's like mix of people, like Asian people, American, other countries. So not, it wasn't like easy. People will just trust me and give me the money and do it. So there were like few things I worked on it, like to tie up with the banquet hall. I initially started with the banquet hall. And in that, I would say, of course, I wasn't earning like great. The commission was less. But the advantage of the working in the banquet hall was I was getting a direct connection to the people, really reaching to the clients. So I knew the more I do this event decoration in the banquet hall, and I also tied up with one New York company also. So they used to get me the events.
People book banquet halls for their events, and then banquet halls need decorators and all, because people would ask banquet halls, do you have anyone? And then they would
Yeah.
suggest some
Yeah. I
event
started with
decorators,
that.
and you
Yeah.
tied up with them so that they would take a big cut from your this thing, but you would still get the event and get to know people. Okay, you leverage the banquet hall connection. I understand how you got more, how you started spreading the word about your work. And so, what is it now? How does the business work now? Is it now that you have been in that Bethlehem, Lehigh Valley area, New York, New
Delaware.
Jersey, where there's a lot of Indian population? Now, is it mostly through recommendations that you get work?
Majorly when initially it picked up, it was more of like word of mouth. Then I slowly realized it, like just like getting feedback from the people that my work is good and I should do more marketing and all of that. Slowly I realized that I used to do marketing through Instagram, but I wasn't getting much clients from the Instagram. Then I realized it, like a lot of people told me like not everyone is there on Instagram, especially as compared to Facebook. Marketing through the Facebook and Instagram. So I used to do marketing in Instagram, but as I said, I wasn't getting much clients. So I started with the Facebook. I started putting up the pictures a little bit over there. From there, I started getting more of like Indian crowd for any event like baby showers, birthdays, and weddings. They were like on Facebook, you have like groups, like Indian groups. I used to just post my pictures over there. And very late, I started with the Google thing because I thought like, okay, I need to start with my Google because every time when I finish the event, everybody's like, where should we write the feedback? And then I was like, I need to start with my Google account. And also like I keep getting like a lot of clients through Google, American, Asian, because of the reviews on the Google.
So let's talk about how you do business, right? You mainly are into decorations, right? I know you do entire events too, but most of your work has been around decorations. Is that
So
correct?
yeah, as you said, like I do event decoration planning both, but more of like event decoration. So firstly, when client reach out to me, I generally ask them about the budget, but everybody is like, they do not have a budget. I am like, I throw a number. I randomly throw a number. Is this your budget? Then they speak about their budget. Then I tell them, like, as per your budget, I will recommend these few setup. This can be done. This can be done.
So are they comparing you versus other event decorators?
Definitely, that happens a lot. Like they compare. At times, few people will find me very pricey, and few people will find me, oh, okay, you are reasonable. That happened, but more of like pricey. So I keep telling them, like it. I don't know. Like every event decorator has their
Okay.
own price. They charge as per that. I charge because I
Hmm.
don't want to compromise on quality. So I always tell them what I promise. I'm anyways going to
Okay.
give you extra. Like I always give
Okay.
them extra.
Ultimately, you don't negotiate on price
I
much.
do negotiate, but not to an extent like where I have to compromise on quality or something. Indian mindset ऐसे ही चलता है, थोड़ा
Correct.
कम करना पड़ता है कि they are like कम नहीं किया तो नहीं चलेगा. They want कि कम करके दो हमें. भले ही even if it's in their budget, थोड़ा कम करते they get happy with that.
Okay. So pandemic helped you, Ankita, where people started celebrating events because they couldn't travel and all of that. So that got you more events and got you more popular. And now a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people know you, a lot of people call you for their events and all. I know initially you mentioned nobody gave you work because they did not know how you work and you had to get
Mm-hmm.
a few events under your belt and all of that. Those were one set of challenges. What are your challenges now that you have developed your business?
Daily challenges, I would say, as compared to the challenges I faced initially, is very less because I learned how to deal with the client, how to get a new setup. I would say still the very less challenges, like as compared to maybe like a budget thing, last minute, like when you are finalizing the event or on the day of the event, something happening, not delivery of the
Mhm.
poles or something like that. So when I take a few wedding, like a wedding setup, there are like a lot of vendors are involved,
Hmm.
right? So in that case, like at times one vendor ditch you or the work is not good. So those are the challenges you face. But you have a backup plan. You always need to have a backup plan.
We talked about challenges on how to get more business and all, but tell me, how did you start off? Going back a little bit, who was your support system to encourage you? Because I think your fields are very unconventional, right? Like Zumba, event planning. Who was really your support system who motivated you to do things?
Yeah. So I'm coming from the community, Marwadi community, where the dance or even planning, especially the dance, was not like much appreciated. Like until unless if you are having a hobby, that's fine. But having a career, they never like, Jenny, don't think about it, because for them, like it's like always like a CA or CS or like a doctor, something like that. So dancing was like not, they never considered like something coming up like as a career, or even management, even in terms of like girls doing event management. So back in India, I had the support from my dad. He supported me like all throughout like time when I went to Mumbai for my dancing, or I started the dancing as a career, and in Jodhpur also in Zumba. He always motivated me. That was in India.
And USA, I know USA is different because you're new to the country, you hardly know anyone except Amit more closely. Do you have support system in USA?
So I lost my dad in 2014. So
Okay.
after that, I got like really worried because he was like my excellent support system in a lot of things. I hardly got a chance to fight for something, like, because he was there with me
Hmm.
like every time. So I was very scared, like, like if, because generally in the Marwadi family, I'll be honest, like when you get married, especially when you're going for an arranged marriage, there is I don't know, there's something to do with the cooking, like you should know cooking. Okay, what do you do in your career? Do you cook? Do you do this? I never liked that question because I don't know what is so obsession with the cooking, and how does it matter whether I cook or not? I know I should know the basic thing, but it's kind of like was like a compulsion. And I'll be honest, like the society where I'm coming from, where you cook excellent food like tikis or whatever, you get appreciated in that. They never used to understand there is like things other than cooking also.
Right. Where you can be good at.
Yeah. I wasn't like a CACS. I was like a Zumba instructor. Though that was like more of like questionable. Oh, you're choosing Zumba as your career, or dance as a career, or even management as a career, you know? So in that, like, of course, like dad supported me. So when I got married, I was like a little worried because typical Marwari or arranged marriage family, they used to ask me the questions, even though they were being, for them, the freedom was like, okay, you can wear a jeans. I was like, this, what? This is just like, clothing is not like something like a freedom.
Hmm.
I understand this is the major part, like you need the freedom, what to wear, what not to wear. So that's why I chose Amit. Like when I met Amit, and Amit was like very different the guys I have met. He never asked me whether I do cooking or not or something like that. He just asked me, what do you like it and what do you want to do in life?
Hmm.
And I told him,
That's
and
it.
yeah, that's it. And I was like, I want to do this. There was no question of like cooking, or, if you start a family, you'll have like more responsibilities. You have to stop something. There was nothing like that coming from Amit. He just asked me, are you into fitness? What do you want to do? I was like, even management. And through that, I also came to know like Amit is like a meritorious guy. Like all throughout his school life, he never paid a school fees. He was a scholar. So coming something like this from him, like respect for my dance and even management, So I was like highly impressed with Amit, and he told me like you can start if you want when you are in USA, you can start. So of course, when I moved to US, I had few doubts, but I got like immense support from Amit. Like when I started with the Zumba, whether I'm going to New York to explore new things, whether I'm learning driving, because driving is also like a task in USA, like the style of driving in India is like different. Anything, whatever you want to compare.
Yeah, in
Hmm.
fact, you mentioned he pushed you to go to New York. He's like, घर पे बैठ के क्या करोगे? New York चले
Correct.
जाओ.
Even I was like, yeah. And he was the like, I remember I heard like a lot of stories from other people. Not people generally come and quickly learn the driving. They take 1 year. He pushed me. Within 2 months, I got my license. He's like, take the car, explore new things. What are the opportunities?
हाँ, I remember Amit telling, आप 3 बार फेल हुए ड्राइविंग में, फिर भी वो आपको सिखाने लगा.
I failed it. I failed in the knowledge test also. He's like, it's fine, it's fine. The motivation was like, used to shop, he used to stop, like
he
drop me at the
he
shopping
wanted
mall.
to
Huh.
yeah, he wanted to make sure you become independent as soon as possible.
Huh. And when I got the driving license also, there were few family people were coming from India. He
Hmm.
asked me to go directly to JFK. And I
Oh,
heard,
wow.
जिसने अभी initially license लिया, nobody goes to JFK directly. But he had confidence in me and I was like, anyways, like, okay, I'll go. And
And for clarity, you're going to JFK from Bethlehem, so that is 2.5, 3 hours drive.
2.5 hour drives and like New York and crossing that bridge is not easy because that is considered like very high traffic and everything.
Yeah.
And I just got my license. So in that way, he pushed me a lot, a lot. Like even when I got a event management job in New York, he never expected me, that I get like a lot of money or something. Like he always
Hmm.
motivated me. There were like a lot of times I learned it. Like I have volunteered like a lot of events. I have done events where I never got the payment also. Times like people have ditched me, not did the payment. There was like a time I was like getting shy, what's going on with me? He was like, don't think about the money. You just keep doing, keep giving your hard work. You will see the fruit. You will see the fruit. He kept saying those things to me. And there were
So
like
Amit was the support system in USA in
yeah,
everything, right?
100%. Because that confidence, what he gave me, I never got much in India. Of course, when my dad was there, I used to get it, but after that, a lot of things changed because people focus more was like, you need to get married, you need to stop this because how will people think? You have to work as per where you get married, you have to work as per that. I was scared because I was very passionate. I loved working. I loved earning money. And I wasn't passionate about the cooking that much.
To our viewers, Ankita is a great cook. We make her cook a lot of things that we like, and she happily obliges.
Yeah, Amit
So
appreciated me
she's
in the
talented.
cooking. No. So
Yeah.
Amit actually appreciated me in the cooking. Like back in India, people used to think I don't know how to cook. But when I came over here, Amit was like a guy like whatever I cook, he will never complain about anything. Even if the salt is less, he's like, it's amazing, it's amazing. I go, okay, I cook good. Well, yeah, you cook amazing. And that I was like again a motivation. Look, okay, I can cook like a lot of varieties. I was trying a lot of things. But yeah, Amit was like in general was like support to like a lot of things. Even that 1 year or 1.5 year. I'll be honest, like wherever you want to reach or you want to achieve, I knew like without hustle, it's not going to happen. Without hustle, you actually have to work like a dog. But in that thing, Amit supported me. Even when I'm having a baby also, a lot of
Hmm.
people told me from back in India, अब तो तेरा रुक जाएगा, अब तो इतना नहीं होगा. Now you have
Oh,
to
in
focus on
fact, I think आपका करियर, आपका काम सबसे ज्यादा बढ़ा जब बेबी होने के
baby.
बाद.
Yeah, correct.
Right?
So
Like Kian was born, and then that year pandemic भी आया, and तब से आपका काम इनफैक्ट बढ़ गया, जैसे
तब
हमने
से
बात
बढ़
की
गया.
थी.
करेक्ट करेक्ट डेफिनेटली बेबी के टाइम तो मुझे ऐसे डरा दिया गया था कि अब तो कम हो जाएगा क्योंकि ऑफ कोर्स इन यूएसए यू डोंट हैव मच हेल्प लाइक इन
Correct.
टर्म्स ऑफ लाइक सर्वेंट्स या नैनीज एज कम्पेयर टू इंडिया इंडिया में ये सारी चीजें क्विकली है तो दे टोल्ड मी लाइक कब तो रुकेगा हाउ विल यू मैनेज
Hmm.
एंड आई टोल्ड आई डोंट वांट टू स्टॉप well who is asking you to stop when people are saying don't bother I'm there to support you you will not stop I was very scared कि I thought अरे मेरा life compromise शायद होगा. I was okay, but I was worried कि सब कुछ रुक जाएगा. I just that me and Amit never wanted कि life should stop even if you are having a baby. That didn't happen. And you are right. Actually, my work picked up when I delivered like Kian, and after that, it picked up a lot. So Amit was like in the back end for sure. He's been like
Yeah,
an
I know
excellent
Amit
support.
built your website also and all of that,
Website,
all the Google reviews that
definitely.
you're getting.
Yeah, initially
He's
I didn't
always
have.
guiding you कि कैसे deal करो client से अगर आपको
Yeah,
challenge लगे तो.
definitely. There were like a lot of challenges for sure. I think initially I didn't have my team. Now I have a team of 6. तब मुझे पता भी नहीं होता था how people will reach out to me, how to get the labor या help and all of that. Plus कई बार budget also used to be less कि I cannot afford to pay someone else. अगर देती तो मेरे को profit नहीं होता. And Amit used to come with me because,
Hmm.
and especially
To set up.
to do the setup. And his job was like 8 to 5. He had like a lot of
Hmm.
work with the baby. We used to take the baby with us. He used to help me and take care of the baby. And I used to finish my setup and then we used to go back home. This was like my struggle. We used to take Kian initially with me, and Amit also used to come. So he supported me a lot.
And for those who don't know, I think Ankita, just for most of Ankita's events are during weekends. So, of course, she does all the planning during the weekday, but most of her events are Friday,
Mm.
Saturday, Sunday because that's when people tend to celebrate, unless it's a birthday that's falling in the middle of the week. She works 2 days a week. I tease her that she works only Saturday, Sunday, and then she makes more than any of us. Ankita's ideal day starts by getting up in the morning, watching Anupama on Instagram.
Oh, I stopped watching Anupama Jain. Weekends are busy. Weekends are generally busy, and
Weekends are super busy.
and that's how Amit helps me because his weekends are off. But still, this is like commendable on part of Amit because he's losing on his weekends. He's working on
Right,
weekdays
right.
also and weekends also. Yeah, छुट्टी नहीं हो रहा है
Amit
उसका.
doesn't get to watch Anupama and all.
But yeah, to begin with, I used to take my family with me. And then slowly I realized that I need to have my own team because every time they cannot be with me. Especially because I started getting those big events, big setups where I cannot take Kian. It can be risky for Kian. So I need someone to be home and take care of Kian and do things, and I get my team.
So, for our audience, how well are you doing with your business now, Ankita? I know you are booked on most weekends. Until when are you already booked?
So I'm booked till like September. Like
So 1 year from now?
Like May is almost booked, April is almost booked. September I have like a lot of work. The work is like a little slow, like a little
Mhm.
less because of this inflation and the layoffs and everything. But it's not that bad. Still I'm getting like very big projects. And this year turned out to be like really good because I'm getting like big weddings. Even the destination weddings also.
What kind of events do you do more? Is it more birthday parties, more weddings? What is it usually?
I would say this time I did more of like wedding events, but more of like birthdays and baby showers.
Would you be comfortable sharing the budget of your events
Sure.
so that our listeners know if they can afford you?
So for the birthday party, it starts from like $750 to $5,000.
Okay, that's the range.
Yeah, it can go above like $5,000, but to me, till now, it's been $750 to $5,000. And 750 is like very basic setup with a balloon arch and simple backdrop. And for the weddings, I would say it's always been like from 2,500 to $40,000.
Wow,
This is the range
nice.
what I have done. 40,000 or $50,000.
Okay, and this is just decoration budget or event budget?
For example, if I'm doing like 750 birthday party, that's
Mhm.
just the simple decoration, no management, something like that. But if the budget goes up like somewhere 10,000, 15,000, then I do some little bit of the coordination and management also.
And do you have repeat clients, Ankita?
Yes,
Is it more
a
frequent?
lot. Yeah. I have like repeated clients a lot and they keep recommending in their families also a lot. If there is a birthday party, if there is a wedding, if there is a wedding anniversary, or if there is a small reception, they will reach out to me. So this is what I appreciate about my clients because if you did the birthday party and the reception and the wedding is pretty different, right? The different decorations, but they still trust me.
And now I know that, of course, in your event, like you mentioned, you rent event material like poles for decorating the balloon arch and all of that. I think you mentioned you started rental business as well.
Yes.
Why did you start rental business? How did that happen?
So basically, I used to initially when I used to do my events, I used to rent like a lot of stuff. With time again, Amit made me realize I should start buying stuff then renting it because my business was going like really good. So I invested in like a lot of items from India, from China, and everywhere. And I have my own small warehouse as well. So one of my friends just suggested me. She also does a like a event rental business. So she suggested me like, Ankita, you have like so much stuff. Why don't you rent? I'm like, I never thought about it like to rent it. She's like, I don't have the half of the stuff what you have, and my rental thing is going really good. So that gave me a thought to start something, and I started with the Facebook market. I just put it up like 4 listing or 5 listing, and I started getting like a lot of queries, like 300 people, 400 people.
So all the event decoration items you started buying instead of renting yourself, and then you started renting them out.
Yes. So I give like poles, anything like decoration, except like flowers. Flowers I don't rent. The reason I don't rent flowers because that is just like all my hard work and creativity. But the backdrop, stand, chair covers, sashes, I rent them.
And I think by renting also you increase your network, right? Now you are
Yes.
renting, but next time they'll ask you to do the event itself.
It does happen. Like a lot of people ask me when they rent, like, how much are you going to charge like for the setup? I'm like, okay, I charge this much. So I do get events through renting business also.
You mentioned your support system. I think you mentioned your dad, you mentioned Amit. Anyone else that you talk to every day, or not every day, but every week, that helps you? So
Yeah.
when you're angry, sad, frustrated, you can talk to them.
Yeah, my family in India, my mom, my sister Preeti Didi, Nikhil, Ginisha, my uncle Kailash Chachu, Jayanti Chachu, they are like really, really proud of what I'm doing. So they keep supporting me and encouraging me to do more. Especially my mom, I talk to my mom almost like every day, whether it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And she just keep appreciating me. She keeps motivating me.
So your support system is your family mostly. Back in India, of course, Amit here.
Yes, yes, and I would also say say Amit's dad also supported me a lot by talking to me every day, asking me how is my day going, how's my work going, and he keeps telling Amit like support her a lot, make it big. Yeah, my father-in-law.
Okay. So do you have any tips for people who want to start a business like yours in your space?
The tips is basically get the knowledge. Just don't start like you just want to start. Get the knowledge. Be in your area, be the expert. I'm not saying even if you're doing good, you can still start. But just get the knowledge. Have the knowledge how to do it, how the work has to be done. Because here in America, like whatever you promise, you have to deliver. And I would say initially, just don't chase the money. You won't get the money easily. But later on, you will get that fruit for sure.
So I want to see how we can answer this. Just as an inspiration for everyone listening who is thinking to start their own business or their own work and pursue what they like. I want to talk about money. You mentioned a good range of how much you can charge per event, from birthday parties and weddings and all.
Right.
I want to give viewers
Yeah.
an idea of how well you're doing for yourself. Commonly, engineers in US, right, those on H-1B visa and all that can relate, like Indians like us.
Mm-hmm.
I think they earn
Mm-hmm.
usually on an average, I would say maybe $6,000 a month after taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Do
Mm-hmm.
you make more than that? Do
Mm-hmm.
you make less than that a month?
Okay. It depends on the events, like in my business. So my journey, the range, the average is like 8,000 to $10,000. It can go up also. Like for example, if big weddings, it can go up, but the average is generally 8,000 to $10,000 a month.
I personally, on my benchmark, I consider that to be a really successful venture, and calling it that. Ankita has done really well for herself, following her passion and what she likes. But what drives you to do this work, this kind of work?
What drives me, like whenever I do an event, like something, the challenges I face, and after that when I get that success, like the
Mm.
feedback, the event turns out to be like really good, that keeps motivating me to do more and more and take up more big events, because that I know, okay, I can do it. I can do it.
The appreciation motivates you for your work. What scares you? I know you're scared of bungee jumping. Is anything scary for you if the event is too large, if the budget is too large, that's scary for you? Or
Yeah, at times I do get scared. Like this last month, like I had like a big wedding, and I was like less scared. Like everything turns out like everything should go
Hmm.
really well. I'll make sure like I give my 200%. And that time, like if I, for example, if I have a big event and I'm scared for it, during for that event, I will not worry much about the money. For example, no, I need to have that much
Hmm.
of profit. During that time, my thing will be only that this event should go really. And if you think a lot like अरे मेरे को इसमें कहीं कम प्रॉफिट तो नहीं होगा, and in that case if you spoil the event, so वो ज्यादा नुकसान करता है. Not to compromise on the
हाँ, बिकॉज
quality.
आपका रेफरल्स कम हो जाएगा.
Agree. But कभी ऐसा हुआ नहीं है. Whatever I have done, it's always like जम
Hmm.
जाता है. Like budget is good and I earn a lot. In fact, जो मुझे लगता है उससे ज्यादा ही मैं earn कर लेती हूँ.
आई थिंक कॉमन ट्रेंड है, जैसे कि आपके जो डायरेक्ट लोगों के लिए बिजनेस होता है, जैसे इवेंट्स वगैरह का, कि आपको क्लाइंट सेटिस्फैक्शन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि अगर वो रहेगा तो यू गेट रिपीट बिजनेस, यू गेट वर्ड ऑफ माउथ मार्केटिंग,
Agree. Agree. वो बहुत मैटर करता है.
especially a one-to-one, like, and especially celebrations, right? Yeah, all the events you do are basically celebrations, and if you help them celebrate well, they will always remember.
तो डेफिनेटली मैटर. और मुझे लगता है अगर फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मुझे लग रहा है समथिंग इज लाइक बजट इज वेरी लेस, आई से अ नो. इनिशियली आई वाज स्ट्रगलिंग विद दिस आल्सो कि मैं नो
Hmm.
कैसे बोलूं. हाउ शुड आई से नो? बट नाउ आई हैव लर्नड इट. इफ समथिंग इज नॉट इन देयर बजट and it's getting like coming out from my pocket, then I'll say a no.
What else do you want to achieve? I know you're already doing very well, living your dream life, summer in USA, winter in India, and getting events booked out for next 1 year.
Um,
But what else?
I would say we, for example, as of now, like I want to get more big in my event business because I'm very happy. So I'm planning to start. I'm thinking to start like make my rental business
Hmm.
also big, get more of like destination wedding. Yeah, even I was thinking to start with my banquet hall also.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
these are the few things which I was thinking, okay, I need to go ahead. I need to achieve as
So
of
you
now.
have big plans. That is very cool. I don't know if you've been
Hmm.
following news of AI, and I like asking this question to everyone I talk to also. Do you think AI impacts your business in any way?
I don't know. I don't know. Actually, I didn't think about it कि कितना affect करेगा. क्योंकि मेरे business में तो जाके सारा
Hmm.
setup करना पड़ता है. You have like lot of ideas, you do it. But मैं अपने business में generally यही focus करती हूँ. I have to keep evolving as per what is going on. Keep getting new ideas, new stuff, so that I'm still in the market. जमी भी रहूँ, मैं market में रहूँ.
Yeah, I think your business is very physical, right? Because you have to go set up and all. लोग आज भी गूगल कर सकते थे कि सेटअप कैसे करें, बट इतना आसान नहीं है, राइट? क्योंकि आपने सीखा,
इतना आसान नहीं because either
और लोगों के
हाँ,
पास टाइम भी नहीं रहता.
और कुछ लोग करते भी है घर पे, बट या तो वो सेलिब्रेट करे या सेटअप में टाइम इन्वेस्ट करे. एंड सेटअप इज नॉट इजी बिकॉज इट गोज लाइक लॉट ऑफ
Hmm.
प्लानिंग. नॉट दैट द डे ऑफ द इवेंट होता है वो खाली
Right.
वो नहीं होता है. इफ आई डू लाइक अ वेडिंग इट्स लाइक लॉट ऑफ प्लानिंग एंड प्लानिंग ऑफ लाइक मंथ्स ऑफ प्लानिंग टू एग्जीक्यूट दैट सब कुछ एवरीथिंग गोज परफेक्ट.
Yeah, so you don't see, at least in the near future, you don't think AI is a threat.
आई डोंट सी दैट थ्रेट टू मी.
Are you proud of your achievements, Ankita?
Definitely how what I started and how I was very proud of myself.
How has India changed for you?
When I go to India, like I have seen people have changed a lot. So like people choosing their different careers, which is not in the study field. But I still feel there is like a lot of improvement because in the end, whatever career you choose, they still believe like woman takes care of the house. That hasn't changed. But definitely I can see a lot of girls coming up, do they want to do something or a different career other than studies. That I think it has evolved a bit. Yeah, and also have seen they understanding like okay, woman wants to work and woman can work. That thing also.
So usually
Yeah.
families are supportive as long as they aren't pressured by society.
बेसिकली क्या होता है लाइक इफ वुमन इज वर्किंग दे थिंक इट्स लाइक शौक से करना है तो शौक के लिए. बट एट टाइम्स इट इज नॉट शौक. दे हैव टू गिव वर्क प्लेस टू एन इम्पोर्टेंस एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट. वो एवरीथिंग फॉल्स सेकेंडरी. when it comes like house ko ghar ko dekho
Right.
or guests coming up or whatever, which I believe it is important, ऐसा नहीं है, but equally
Hmm.
the work is also important जो कर रहे हैं. जैसे how they give importance to the men कि काम है तो they respect that कि काम है तो काम है, तो वो वहां पे मुझे लगता है वो शायद challenging होता. Support करते हैं, I'm not saying that, and also money plays a big role in it. Like if you're, I think so India में mindset काफी उस तरह से चलता है, like how much you earn. If you earn very good तो वो थोड़ा रहेंगे supportive. If you're not earning much good तो कम supportive रहते हैं.
So yeah, that is the measure of success for them. And it doesn't
Yeah,
matter if you're enjoying the work and you just are happy with it. But money is
yeah.
an important factor if you want to do the same thing in India.
Like how much they support a guy, like no
Hmm.
matter how much you struggle, we are there for you, you can do more.
Right.
So I think अगर मैं शायद इंडिया में भी, I'm not again saying 100%, शायद
Hmm.
इंडिया में I would have struggled, like how Amit supported me through like
Hmm.
thick and thin.
Hmm.
He was like, it's fine, money doesn't come, it's fine, you keep going, you keep going.
Hmm.
I think India mein they would have given up, like why you want to do it, what is the need of it.
Okay, thank you, Ankita, for a very good first episode that you have given me and very interesting life journey, getting to know you better. Of course, I know you well, and this was for the listeners. Hopefully, they get inspired from your journey, from your life lessons.